having faith in politicians, I think, is a very, very bad thing. Believing that laws should be is a very bad thing. I think everything needs questioning. And once again, these laws absolutely dictate our business. And allowing misinformation to generate is just crazy. Like, there are plenty of people that do not keep corals because they think that doing that would somehow damage the reef. Now, corals can be collected badly. I'm not saying they can't. But if you look at companies like Cairns Marine and Monsoon Aquatics that we have here in Australia, their collection techniques are unbelievable. And they're absolutely zero damage. So the education, the awareness, the passion that these aquariums are bringing to the world, I think is the most unbelievably wonderful thing. Mm-hmm. And for us to sit back as an industry and let the media dictate lies, I think is on us. And even this whole, like, Peter's big promotion now, fishing tanks, no thanks. I mean, okay, let's face it, there are some fish that are put in tanks that shouldn't be there. But, you know, that happens. But at the same time, I remember reading in Reader's Digest, like a long, long time ago, about a Miami study that I wish I could get access to, where they did a study on the Apistogramma cacatoides. And they looked at every single metric that they could measure: cortisol levels, respiration rates, blood pH, everything, behaviour, and basically found that a fish in an appropriately sized aquarium is happier and less stressed and have higher life satisfaction levels than they would in the wild. So you can create a utopia for your fish in your fish tank. Mm-hmm. You've got to make sure the animal has got enough room, make sure the water quality is good, make sure he's got good quality food, and this fish is happy. Your fish tank is a utopia. And the other thing is that people look at a fish and they go, "Oh, I'd be bored in there." Good on you. You're not a fish. Fish don't have the same range of emotions. They don't have bored. You know, people are like, I want to get a...
Sorry, when they're in that aquarium, there's no predator to worry about, and they soon learn that because it reduces their cortisol levels straight away.
Totally, absolutely. Yeah. So fish have got emotions, like they have emotions, they have feelings. I believe all that, but they have happy or stressed. You know, like they don't have bored or sad, or you know what I mean. They don't have them. Mm. So the fish is happy if it's got somewhere to hide. It's either got someone to mate with, it's got someone to muck around with. You know, you're creating heaven. Mm-hmm. You're creating heaven for these fish. They're not having to compete to survive. They're not having to compete to breed. They're not having to, you know, they just live in this wonderful little bubble, which, you know, a fish tank is heaven.
Yeah. And food comes down from the sky.
It does. Yeah, it actually does. So, I mean, this is what we should be getting out into the public. We should be, and I mean, a lot of fish are bred anyway. So, like, a lot of fish are not even coming from the wild. And the ones that are coming from the wild, as long as they're coming sustainably, it's actually a wonderful thing. Another thing I read in Reader's Digest is that if you, because I read things, and if I like that, I believe it. So if you watch a fish tank for 15 minutes a day, you can lower your stress level by 40%.
That's 100% true.
I just believe that. Like, you know, you sit down and watch a fish, you forget about the world. It's so much like meditating. It's so relaxing and beautiful. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just think it's a wonderful thing. And having that body of water just takes away your negative energies. I mean, I just think that a fish tank is a wonderful thing for your health. And I just think it's a good thing for your family. Like, it's so wonderful to watch families come together over fish. Like, I remember one customer I had many years ago, and he's like, he and his son had a terrible relationship. Anyway, they ended up, dad bought a fish tank, son got interested in it, and then the fish tank became the glue of a father-son relationship. Lovely. And something goes, we're talking, you know, we're doing something together. You see this, you know? But this happens by enrolling people. So I'm a really big fan of Facebook and fish tanks. For example, when you get yourself a new fish, make a post, put it on your Facebook page. Because you know what? Facebook gives you reminders where it goes, hey, this is what you did last year. And you're like, hey, that's that little dude. Look at him. Oh, look at him now. You know, it's really cool to see what your fish tank was like. And also, it shows other people. But you know what? Finding Nemo was one of the best things. I go off in 1,000 directions, don't I? Finding Nemo was the best thing ever for our industry because it gave a personality. I believe they've got a personality. And the other thing is, like, when people come into my store to buy fish, I believe there's three sorts of hobbyists. There's hobbyist number one. He comes in and goes, oh, yeah, I've got a blue fish, a yellow fish, and a red fish. Oh, what can I put in with them? And you're like, oh, great. And then he just buys some fish, puts them in his tank, looks at them, and his level of interest and engagement is very low. He just wants a tank because he thinks it's cool. Then there's hobbyist number two. He can tell you exactly what the fish are. He can go, you know, that's a Labdochromis caeruleus, that's a Nimbochromis venosus, he at least can rattle out all the proper names, and he has a higher identification with his fish, and you see that he's more engaged and more passionate about them. Mm-hmm. Then a hobbyist number three can not only tell you what the fish is, he can also tell you a little bit about it. Like, for example, he is the person, or she, or he that was a she, whatever, ends up going on and learning a bit about each fish. Like, for example, electric blue, very popular cichlid, but in the wild they have a really interesting behaviour. So in the wild, a algae-eating fish moves like this: eat algae, eat algae, eat algae. whereas a predator moves very differently.
Mhm.
So the electric blue has learned that when the fry is swimming around, if he approaches the fry like a predator, they will hide. Whereas if he approaches the fry like an alligator, and he's like, salad sucks, this algae's crap, like that, and then he gets close and he pounces and he eats them. That's a cool story. And what people don't realise is that every fish has a story. When you learn the story behind the fish open up a whole new world of interest. Like the frontosa, for example. Frontosa is one of the laziest fish on earth. They live on the floor of Lake Tanganyika, and they try to exert as little energy as possible. Most fish will fight to have territory. They'll fight for the right to breed. They'll fight for the right to feed. You know, they're exerting a lot of energy. Not a frontosa. A frontosa sits there, tries to preserve energy, tries to get a big fat lumpy head, because the big lump gets all the chicks, and then he uses little energy to do anything. He feeds on cypricomus species that have three-dimensional territories above him. During the day, a frontosa will never touch a cypricomus. During the nighttime, the cypricomus come on the floor and sleep. The frontosa waits till they're all asleep. Then just bunks them off one at a time.
Yeah.
No one sees it coming. Zero energy. Oh, we got a fluffy frontosa there.
Yeah, there we go.
And then even the way a frontosa breeds, your average cichlid will build a nest, will lure the female, will dance, will do all its business. Not a frontosa. A frontosa will basically just look at the female, dump his load, and swim off. Zero, doesn't care. Just like, darling, if you want to breed with me, there's my junk, I'm gone. And then she will drop the eggs, pick the eggs up in her mouth, fertilise the eggs with him. He's off. He's gone to the pub already. And then she will decide whether she wants to breed with him or not. He couldn't care. He's not even hanging around to find out if she does. So all these stories as what brings fish alive. And the thing is too, go on sidetrack again, passion. So it's so funny how often people say to me, oh, you're so lucky. You do something you're passionate about. That's a load of crap. Because I believe that passion is governed by knowledge. The more you learn, the more you identify, the more you enjoy, and the more you're rewarded. So if I reckon I could be this passionate about anything, I could be this passionate about medicine, I could be this passionate about cars, I could be this passionate about astrology, I don't know. But the key is you got to learn about it. And the more you learn, the more you're rewarded, and the more that subject opens up to you. And that's why I tell people, I'm like, look, if you want to be passionate about it, about something, just pick anything and just try to learn everything about it. Like I remember before the internet, I used to get like an Ad Connings book or a Julian Sprung book or whatever. And then I used to actually sit there and read the book and take notes on the book and then read the notes, take notes on the notes and memorize the whole book. Admittedly, I had nothing else to do. Like, not like today where you've got, and my kids, man, they've got so much to do with their elaborate PCs and we didn't have any of that.
No, we just had books.
So we had books and guitars. So like when I was growing up, I used to play guitar and I used to play like 4 to 7 hours a day. And if I wasn't playing guitar, I'd be reading my fish books or breeding my fish. It's awesome. So anyone that says to me I'm lucky, I go, well, I'm not lucky. I just learned a lot about it. But the problem is the age, I'm nearly 50 now. So I'm at an age now where I remember things. So like, you never learn it. You'll never learn everything because you actually forget most of it anyway. And now I'm going through like, oh yeah, remember, yeah, I used to know that. So if you enjoy learning, and I mean, you got no excuse now with YouTube. I mean, there's just so much information.
Mm-hmm.
So I had St George aquariums, and then I started making VHS videos. Wow. Because when I was at St George aquariums, I learned that there's a bunch of stuff that people need to know. I got sick of saying that to the point where I just couldn't handle saying that again. So I started making VHS videos. Made reef aquarium ones, made cichlid aquarium ones, and instead of telling them about fish, because you give them a book, they're not going to read it. Some do, but reading, their attention's like 5%. Whereas I found I gave them a video. Back in those days, we used to sell the videos for $39.99.
Wow.
Which, you look back, that's a lot of money. I think that only cost me about $7 for the actual video, and then we did the production of it. I made a lot of money out of it. And so then DVDs came out. So then I redid them all again, and I made DVDs. And they were TV broadcast quality back in those days.
Mm-hmm.
So it was if you look on my YouTube channel, Majestic Aquariums TV, and just write DVD, you can watch them all. So I did a first aquarium and pond DVD, I did a tropical DVD, I did a cichlid DVD, I did a marine aquarium DVD, I did an instructional DVD for Red Sea, I did one for Aqua One, I did one for JBL, I've done lots of, because when I started becoming the guy because I was like the first person really to start making videos and then DVDs on how to keep fish. And then I actually started doing tours around the world because I started a company called Fish Eye Films with one of a cameraman from Channel 9 here in Australia. He was like an award-winning cameraman. And he actually, I've seen a note here. I have found Paul's videos. So if you look at, you'll find them all online, definitely on Majestic Aquariums. And so then I started touring around the world selling these DVDs. So I'd go to trade shows and, meet people. And we were selling tens of thousands of copies at a time.